All right, I've had a beast of a time getting these 77 grainers right. Right here, I've been having serious issues. Real ugly. Let me see if I can show you. I'm sure I can, since this isn't the first take of this. You see those? Magnifier, they look really ugly. Took me 3 days of experimenting, trying to figure out what was going on there. And it was a multifaceted problem. So, had to take a few steps trying to sort that out. My first idea was, okay, there's too much case capacity because the cores are seated far down in there compared to the 55 grain. So I decided, well, I'll try shortening the cases. So I trimmed them up, and I tried, what, 1, 2, 3. Like 11 different lengths, I think, trimming them down, give or take. I can't quite read my writing there. I know I tried at least 9 different lengths, and only a couple of them really helped. Nothing near solving it, just better, ever so slightly better. So my next step was re-annealing. Let's anneal them more. So I've refined that a little bit. A little more heat. I tried 2 different things there. I tried going longer, like 15 minutes at a time instead. Let them go a little longer. Soften them up a little bit, but not as much as I wanted. So I think my new method might be 1100 degrees for 11 minutes. Because the last ones I did, so I did, and it was just a small batch, just test batch is what I did. And then I let them cool down in the pot, and they softened up fairly much. Yeah, that made sense. Pretty good, without baking all the zinc out of them. So I was looking at Corbin's site. I was looking up everything I could see. What am I doing wrong there? Maybe there's a better way. And they're like 1200 degrees, just long enough to know they hit 1200 degrees range. You're like, yee. How long is just long enough? Well, the 1100 setting on my PID, they really didn't quite hit there. There's some slop in that sucker. They got up to about 1075, give or take, ish. And everything got red hot, which always makes me a little nervous, even though you're supposed to hit that. Like the 800 degrees, everyone suggests it doesn't get anywhere near 1,000 degrees. They don't get red hot. 1100, they do. And I got a little nervous on that, but seems to have worked, and that helped, but it didn't solve the problem. I can tell where I'm going with this, right? Everything helped, but none of it on its own solved the problem. My next thing was, okay, I've got 2 core seating base punches. The one I've been using for these since, well, you got the 6mm derimming die and all the stuff that comes with it, along with core seating base punch with that kit. I figure, well, that's the one I'm going to use. That's the one I got to use. That's what it's there for. Okay. And then I got the one from the 55 grain, or 55 grain, the 22 long rifle kit, the main kit. Like, well, you know, was a little longer, 6 mil. But, I don't know if you can see, they're different diameter. All right, the one from the 6 mil kit is .020. Or, yeah. And, well, the one from the main kit is .026. There's a 6/1000th of an inch difference. Let me show you what happens. All right, I got the 6 millimeter one. In the case, it's been, you know, whoops. Ay. Okay, another case. Come prepared to do. Third time's a charm, right? Oy, oy. Oh. I hope. All right. The 20,000 fits right inside. All right. Sometimes it'll allow lead to slip past. It seems to seat the core a little deeper in here, and while it's doing that, for some reason, it stretches the casing. So it's even that much more empty space in the end. And well, yeah. I've seen, I'm estimating around 30,000ths of an inch or so stretch. So yeah, there's that. Now I take the .026, and it's like the 22 long rifle. It doesn't slip inside. It actually stretches this a little bit. Doesn't seem to seat the core quite as much by the time it's done. Doesn't let lead slide past. And it doesn't stretch the case. So, yeah. That made the biggest difference out of everything. Except for one other little thing I figured out. Now, using 22 long rifle, when seating the cores, the little rebated boat tail starter nub, I'll call it, I was emulating the examples that come through, and they're fairly tall. This black ring, identifying ring that it's just Sharpie I use, so I don't mix it in and swedge it. It's a little tall, and it always seemed like I needed that to get them to come out right, but I'm thinking maybe I don't, because what I found is if I make them a little less, I'm not getting as much of a problem there for some reason. And it also helps with case survivability for these beasts, because the more you try to pronounce that, the more pressure it takes, and they pop right here. It will just split it and separate about, yeah, 3/8 of an inch or so. It's crazy. And the survivability of forming The rebated boat tail also goes up. So combining all those things, well, you can see how much better that is. There's a very minor, come on, focus, you screwy thing. Sorry. Hopefully you can see that. Even this handful. They all look, good. What kind of screwed me up in my thinking too was that first one that, kind of sneak peeked. That one was unannealed. It was just grab a casing, cut it down to 1 inch, throw a core in there. Point was beautiful. The rebated boat tail blew out. It couldn't survive. I think because it's kind of a complex bend. It just, yeah, it wanted nothing to do with it. But the point looked great. I'm like, wow, okay, annealing, that's going to fix that. It changed everything, and not for the better, because the boat tail, the rebated boat tail looked good. Point looked like crap. So yeah, I've been banging my head against the wall for 3 days, and I finally think I got it sorted out. Now some of these little tweaks I can kind of get by without doing. They come out pretty good. But like I said, not getting as aggressive with that preforming of the starter boat tail and using the other core seating base punch are the two biggest factors, because this one, actually I didn't use the re-annealed brass and it looks pretty good. Come on, I wish this thing would focus. It sucks. It looks good. I mean, so the annealing is a factor, but it's not as big of a factor as those things. And trimming it down helps, but this 1 inch one is pretty much the length of a 77 grain SMK. Well, just slightly shorter. Slightly shorter, I say. How much shorter, you ask? Well, let me check. Because I forget. Oh, okay, this one is actually 10 thousandths of an inch shorter. I think, yeah, the 77 grain SMKs are 0.994, and this is 0.984. So pretty comparable. It started out as a 1 inch casing. So you lose a little bit. Yeah. Let me see here. Seven grain. Sure, now you focus. God, just never ends. Guess it needs a little darkness. Yeah. Okay, I thought it focused. Oh, looky, you look lucky. Minor imperfections, but that's really nothing. When you compare it to stuff like this, and you break out the magnifying glass, you know that thing, what is it, the phobia of holes people get? Usually I don't really have that, but it tried to kick in because they're all blackened and crappy. It's like, what's going on, Ryan? Those things are nasty. They look that much deeper and just, gah! Let's see. Just nasty. I'll shoot them, but you know, I don't know how that'll affect the accuracy. But where did I set that other one? You minor little stuff like that. It's a huge improvement. Now some of these other ones are. These were further annealed. See how it's just that little bit better? Some of these were shortened up a little bit. They're various lengths. I was experimenting. These were, I just did these a couple hours ago. Some of those other ones I showed you that were ugly were actually from improving by shortening. I'm not sure where the really ugly ones were, but I think you can get the idea what just how bad it was. Alright. Now I got to get on with the rest of this video, but or work it into the next one. But at least I can do it now. I was really worried. Elvis sent me all that brass. I sent him a picture of the one I did that I hadn't annealed, and it looked beautiful. I didn't really show him the base, but you know, I was like, this is gonna be easy. All I gotta do is, I was thinking maybe I could just, you know, drill out a fire brick, because that's one way to anneal them, fire brick and a torch. Flip it up and just anneal the base. I was thinking maybe that'll work. So many things going through my head, because like, man, got all this brass, gotta send them some, I gotta produce some, gotta get this right, and everything was going completely wrong. I burned through about 3 handfuls of these suckers, then just produced garbage. And was not feeling confident for 3 days. But today, that all changed. Between experimenting and emails back and forth to BT, and yeah, actually I sent him some emails, and I figured this out before he got back to me this time. But you know, every little idea helps. There's a lot of people that know a lot about this, far more than I do. So, yeah, I was looking on forums, searching everywhere I could, and trying to piece together, because there's really not a lot of information. There is, but there's a lot of varying information. And some of it's gotten me in trouble. Like, when I first annealed, some of the information, I over annealed a lot of brass for the 22 long rifle. And then I found out, wow, there's a lot of different opinions and what works for people. I had to draw my own conclusions, and that's why I keep playing with it, because what works. I use the same annealing technique on these as I do my 22 long rifle, and they didn't soften up as much. Even though, yeah, they're a little under twice as long, but I don't know if the jacket thickness is different, but for some reason, they didn't anneal the same. So I had to adjust that. Just constant learning curve. Well, let's figure it out. Commit it to memory, write it down, take notes. Yeah, I mean, you know. But, yeah. This probably came off as kind of a rant in a way, didn't it? Sorry about that. It wasn't meant to. Just It's been a struggle the last 3 days. A bit of stress going on. Thinking, man, okay, I gotta make a video with these, because the last one, the 55 grainer one series ended. And I promised this. Am I gonna not be able to deliver? I'm supposed to be able to do this. Why am I not able? Yeah, no. Yikes. Alright, well, with that out of the way, now I can get on to making a video about making these bullets. That would make for a long video if I tacked it onto this, so I guess this is going to be the teaser rant. Alright, see you next time. God bless.